Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. We're nearing the end of the month. It is almost October. It is marathon season, and the weather is lovely right now, which of course means by the time the Chicago Marathon gets here, the weather's probably going to be nasty, but I'm going to enjoy it for now. We're still too far away for at least me and the weather app that I use to see what the weather forecast is going to be like. But temperatures are gradually decreasing. The highs are getting lower and the lows are getting lower too. So we'll see where we end up on the day. I was looking back at some footage from 2019 at the start, and everyone was in like knit caps, gloves, long sleeves, jackets, full track pants, everything like that. So it's like hard to imagine that's going to get that cold in just like 12 days from now. But it's been that cold before. But we've also had hot years, so who knows what we're going to have yet. Just a couple more days and we'll find out. All right, let's get to the podcast for today, or the live stream for today. Everyone listening on the podcast version, hopefully you're having a great day and then you have balmy weather for your run, or windows down, music up kind of weather for your commute home. Although I guess if you've got the music up and you're listening to this on your commute home, you got me cranking loud on your stereo. So hopefully the other people on the road don't mind hearing a little bit of Kofuzi voice. Everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, not live, welcome to you guys too. Hopefully you got a nice recovery beverage. I've got some afternoon coffee because it's an afternoon coffee kind of a day. I did not get all my projects done that I need to get to today. I still have a lot of work that I need to do, working on some Chicago Marathon stuff. Very excited for it. Can't wait for you guys to see it. It's pretty cool. But I got to tell you right now, what I'm doing is a lot of blurring out of logos per the request of the client. That's really, really, really boring. I got to tell you that. All right, let's see how you guys are doing here in the chat, everybody. Lucas H says, what's going on, my running friends? I'm missing all the live stream lately, but still watching and listening later when I run or do the dishes. See, those are my two main places where I consume content as well, running or doing dishes. He said, love the latest Serious Runner Tapers video. Oh, I didn't see the taper video. I saw the one where he switches shoes, and then I saw the one that was just Steven Ganoza as Steven Ganoza. And I was like, this isn't nearly as funny. Why isn't the Serious Runner being funny this time? And I was like, oh, it's Steven Ganoza being himself. But I got to check that one out. I haven't seen it yet. Lucas also says he picked up a fresh pair of Endorphin Speed 1 on clearance for the San Jose, California half this Sunday. Currently in the taper, but maybe just one more hard workout. I mean, I am a serious runner. I mean, if your half is on Sunday, it depends. I did a workout the Friday before the half marathon on Sunday last week, but I wasn't using this Sunday half marathon as a race. I was using it as a workout. So I wanted to go in with tired legs. So it depends on what you want to get out of it. And we've got Eric Paramount with the super chat. Thanks so much, Eric. Good to see you. He says, it's not much, Mike, but I hope you can score a cup of dark matter or intelligentsia, and good luck in Chicago Marathon. Well, thank you so much. I will definitely make a special trip to go get intelligentsia coffee. I don't really spend too much time at the coffee shops these days, but because you dropped me off that super chat, I will make sure to get that intelligentsia coffee. There's one really close. Right close on the way to pick up the kids from school. So maybe that's what I'll do today. Although today I've got they want to ride their scooters home, so I got to carry scooters. But tomorrow's picture day, so we're going to walk. Maybe when I drop them off after school, that's when I'll get the coffee. So thanks, Eric. I'll be thinking of you when I have the coffee. All right, I'm going to scroll down just to make sure I stay with you guys and stay current in the chat. Panos M says, hi, everyone. Weather in Paris is also getting chilly. In my morning runs, the heart rate is definitely getting lower. Isn't that nice? It's so nice. When the air gets a little crisp, the heart rate stays nice and low, and you can just run and you're feeling good, especially when you're in the taper. Oh, it's nice. And you know what? I've been to Paris before. I went with my wife before we were married. We went. It was a long time ago. This would have been like, I don't know, 2004, 2005, a really, really long time ago. And I never went running while I was there. I wasn't really running at the time. Now, I'm very intrigued. Like every time I think about about marathons in Europe, I think heavily about the Paris Marathon. So I just think that that'd be nice. My mom's here. So, hi, Mom. How are you? And I guess I did say my wife, so let's get that sound going. And you know what, though? Deliveries have been really weird at my building lately. I was supposed to get a new USB interface, something that I could use to record podcasts as well. Like, hopefully I'll do some live in-person stuff. So I bought more microphones. I got more equipment. All that stuff was supposed to be here on Monday. Or whenever the 27th was. Yeah, Monday. Still not here. I don't know what's going on. And then I had another a package that a brand sent me. And they were like, did you get it? Did you get it? We saw the tracking and it looks like you got it. The tracking says indeed that it was delivered, but it's not here. I don't know where it is. So something going on with deliveries. Something's happening. I don't know. All right. Nathan F says, hey, Kofuzi, after getting J&J, how many days off did you take off running? I took 2 days off, 2 days easy, and then boom, I was good to go. So that's kind of what I recommend. Garrett Meek is here. What's going on, Garrett? Good to see you again. Cheryl Gayhart says, hi, Kofuzi. My first live stream. Well, welcome to you. Hopefully you're enjoying it. She says, hope to see you at the Chicago Marathon. I'm a Chicago native, but moved away and got my pass shirt. Well, awesome. Well, it'll be easy to spot you if you wear the pass shirt for the shakeout. We'll be doing that Saturday morning. It's a very busy time. Everyone's shakeout runs are starting to get announced and stuff. And as I anticipated, mine is like right in the middle of everyone else's stuff. So I know that there might be other stuff that you'd rather see. I'll be around town at other places too. So I won't be offended if people don't come to the shakeout. But I'll probably go to the Expo on Friday. I've got some work I got to do, some actual like brand work that I need to do. I got to take some photos and do some stuff at the Expo. But that's when I'll be packing up my stuff. So I'll be there Friday morning. And then I just got an email from Tracksmith. Well, I got an email from a PR company that works with Tracksmith. But Tracksmith is going to have like a bunch of stuff happening Chicago Marathon weekend. So look that stuff up. I'm going to be going to like a lot of that stuff. But lots of cool stuff. The stuff that I really, stuff that I want to do the most is all happening at times where I'm trying to do other stuff and host other things. So it's like, that's a little bit frustrating. But the weekend's only so long. You know, the times that I think are convenient for stuff are the times that other brands are going to think are convenient for stuff too. But again, there's a whole like smorgasbord of things going on over the weekend and things to do. So I'll see you guys around somewhere, everywhere. Luis Becerra says, yo, what's going on? And Vivek says he's from New Jersey as well. Very cool. Good to see you, Vivek. Nathan's coming in from New York City, or maybe upstate New York. I'm not sure where you're from, Nathan. The way that I talk about New York, or at least all New Jerseyans talk about New York, and I don't know if New Yorkers talk about that, because frankly, I actually don't know that many New Yorkers. I know a lot of people that lived in New York for a time, but I don't know that many like New Yorkers. But from New Jersey's perspective, there's New York, the city, and then there's upstate New York, which is the state of New York that's anywhere that's not New York City. So that's kind of how we always refer to it. Let's see. We got Luisa says, missed you guys. Can't hear what the topic is, but just want to say hi to all of you. Well, welcome, Luis. I'm glad. Well, I don't know if you can hear, or maybe you got it on, but you can't listen. Well, hope you're having a good day. James Bennett is coming in from Baltimore, Maryland. Awesome. Very cool. I hear fall temperatures are starting to come into Baltimore. That's what I hear. Hope the weather's nice for you. Scott's also from New Jersey. Cool. Scotty B. What's going on? He's at a car apartment. His car's getting new fluids, and he's recovering with water outside in 70 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny skies. It sounds nice. That's about what we had here in Chicago. But although we're by the lake, so it's a little bit cooler by the lake usually, at least during the sun, when it's, the lake buffers the temperature. So when it's hot out, it's a little bit cooler. When it's cold out, it's a little bit warmer, generally. So it's about kind of what we got here. And it's just got to tell you, it's nice. Like I say, best time to come visit Chicago is like right around when the Chicago Marathon usually is. Although a couple weeks before, then is usually the best time to come visit. Maybe not as good for running a marathon, but a really great time to visit is like late September. And that's where we're at now. All right. Jenfrez M says, hey, All your training is going well, Co. Hope all your training is going well, Co. The marathon just got postponed from end of October to January. Not sure what to do. Haha. That's crazy. If it just got postponed, that's really late notice. That means people are basically in the taper or getting close to peak week, depending on when in October it was. And I moved to January. That's tough. I don't know. Probably what I would do is there's two ways to look at it. One is to keep training and do some sort of find another event that you can do at about the same time. So that way you could at least, ride this training block out to its conclusion and see where your fitness level is. And that could be a really good source of information as you get to the marathon in January. The other thing you could do is just kind of like shut it down, act as if the marathon just happened now, take some time off, or at least recover a little bit, let your body relax, get into kind of like off-season mode where you're just doing lots of base mileage, easy running. And then for January, to run a January marathon, you're really starting back up in less than a month. So take a couple of weeks of easy running and then start that training block over again. That's kind of, your two options, I think, that you have there. But hopefully you get to have it to go in January. David Doherty says, dropping in the super chat. Thank you so much, David. Says, hey, Mike, watching first live stream from Ireland. Have the Belfast Marathon on Sunday, hoping for a PB, crossing his fingers. Good luck with your own one. Oh, awesome. Good luck for you too, David. That also sounds lovely to run in Ireland. I do really want to plan a trip over to the UK. I keep mentioning that, but you know what? Really, I got to start figuring that out. I got to plan it if that's something that I want to do pretty soon now. Hopefully travel will be feasible, maybe spring next year. I'm not sure. Oh, but that sounds really nice. Well, good luck, David. Charlie Keith says, any thoughts on doing another triathlon? For sure. I do want to do another one. I'll probably do a sprint. You know what? I haven't been swimming that much. I haven't swam in 2 weeks now. Maybe more than that. With marathon training getting in here, and I think that part of it too is we had the mask mandate for indoor spaces in Chicago, and I was like, do I really want to be going inside to a pool? So I was a little bit kind of just I'll ride the bike some more. So there was that. So I'd like to get back in the pool because I do enjoy the act of trying to learn to swim. That is a fun endeavor for me. I like that. And I'd like to do a sprint triathlon. I'd like to figure out something where we could travel to one as a family, somewhere warm in the wintertime is kind of what I'm thinking. So I know that there's not that many of those in the U.S., and some of those are in places where I don't want to go right now. So, who knows how things will change over time. So there's some logistics, there's some planning involved. I'm thinking once the Chicago Marathon's over, Chicago Marathon is my busiest time of year. It's kind of like tax season for accountants for me, though, as a Chicago-based running YouTuber. Chicago Marathon's super crazy. So the taper is really important for me because that's when I have time to do all the work that I need to be doing around the Chicago Marathon. So after the Chicago Marathon, that following, that's when I think I'm going to do some planning. So we'll see. Thomas Villa says, yo, what's going on? Have you seen this new Saucony Chicago edition of the Speed 2? Nice looking shoe. I haven't. I didn't know they were going to do that. I saw the New Balance RC Elite 2 for the London. That shoe is crazy. I don't know if I like it or not. There's a lot going on. It's super busy. And then, I don't know who made it, but Ben Johnson posted on Instagram. There's a New Balance edition. There's I think it was a Japanese design studio. I think that's what it was. A New Balance RC Elite 2 that's white on white, but it the upper, it's there's two uppers in one on it. So it's not really a performance RC Elite 2, but it's got fake leather from a New Balance dad shoe, but it's all whited out. And then underneath, it's the RC Elite 2, that mesh is trying to break its way through. It just looks awesome. I hear it's $500. So not for me, but it looks great. Sai Nandan Ramasetti says, on a 10K run today, my Vaporfly 2%, I had a midfoot pain at the end of the workout. please suggest an alternative shoe for a marathon distance, which is not too snug on the forefoot. I would say that the Adios Pro 2, if you like the Vaporfly Next Percent 2, I think the closest one to me is either the Metaspeed Sky or the Adios Pro 2, in my mind. I think the Adios Pro 2 fits a little bit better than the Metaspeed Sky does in terms of how the upper fits. Also, I don't think the feeling isn't quite the same, but I also think is worth considering is for sure the New Balance RC Elite 2. So those are the ones that I would look at. Stevie76 is here. It says, yo, what's going on? And Jeff Elliott says, oh, speaking of triathlon, Lionel Sanders started a Discord channel. It's brand new, but hopefully it will be a positive place for Tri Talk. You know what, guys? I'm going to admit to you, I don't really know what Discord is. I mean, I have an idea, but I really don't know. But I did hear him talking about that. I saw his video. From Chattanooga, where he came in second, which is pretty cool. And the most remarkable thing to me about Ironman Chattanooga is that one of the title sponsor is Little Debbie, like the cakes, the ones that make the moon pies. Like, they make moon pies, right? The cream fill, they make the 2 oatmeal cookies with like the cream filling on the inside. Little Debbie, like that's the sponsor for Ironman Chattanooga. I mean, they say that Ironman Chattanooga is like the most family friendly of the Ironman events. There's like kids events and stuff too, but like Little Debbie, I mean, there must be something going on. Like maybe like the current CEO of Little Debbie is like a triathlete or something like that. But it's just like such a weird, you know what I mean? It'd be like I don't know. It'd be like if CIM were sponsored by like Twinkies. Like it's just such a weird combination, right? Little Debbie does not make endurance food. They don't even make healthy food. They make kids treats, right? So like I don't understand it, and for the longest time I thought it was a joke. I thought that Lionel Sanders was like putting that on top of the logo as some sort of weird like antics. But yeah, I don't know. Really, really crazy, right? Anyone think that was crazy? I don't know. Daniel M says, Little Debbie had a glass eye. Fun fact. No, you're making stuff up now, right? Is Little Debbie a real person? Is it like Wendy's? Like the Wendy in Wendy's was a real person? It was like Dave Thomas's daughter or something like that. Is Little Debbie a real person? I don't know. Daniel M says, well, Little Debbie's are way worse than any Stroop waffle. Yeah, no, I mean, there are times when I'm like, I could go for a moon pie, or as Martha says, the moon pies, as they say in the South. But I don't know. Yeah. One time he says, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie during a marathon sounds good, actually. See, I don't think it sounds good during a marathon. You know when I would want it? On like an ultra trail race. Then I would want it. I'd be like, yeah, give me that. I could eat that. I don't know. Eric loves the Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, though. Yeah, Vivek says, Little Debbie's like Mrs. Fields. Exactly. Like Mrs. Fields, the cookie company. I don't understand. Oh, man. That's so funny, you guys. Zambrata says, is it common to not feel the existence of a nylon plate endorphin speed? Yeah, I mean, it's there, and you're feeling it. Because I think that if it weren't there, I think that the foam would feel really unstable with the stack height that it has. So I think that's something that a lot of people discount is when they feel like they can't feel the plate. And I've said that about many shoes before. Like, I can't feel the plate. I don't know what it's doing in here. I wish it was springier. Like, I think part of what it's doing is it's stabilizing the foam. So that's what it's really doing. And the fact that your like ankles aren't turning over in it is a testament, I think, to the nylon plate. It's just not going to be as springy as the Endorphin Pro. So like that's kind of what's going on in there. Felix G. Who says, hope to see and meet you or meet you at the Chicago Expo or Marathon. Well, I'm going to the Expo on Friday. We'll do the Shakeout run with everybody on Saturday. And then Sunday I'll be in Corral A. I don't know. Guys, I go back and forth. My head says line up with the 310 group. My legs say, you know what? Let's line up with 315. My heart says line up with 305. So like I don't know. I'm torn. If I end up lining up with 3:15, I'll probably duck under the rope and go in the corral and like go with corral B. But I don't know. I have enough time to freak out over it. Probably about 6 or 7 more real times before the race. Martha says she usually doesn't want anything sweet for several hours after a long run due to all the sweet gels and hydration drinks. Yeah, I think that sometimes for me though, I'm generally with you, but I usually like things that are a little bit more savory, and I also love crunchy things. The longer the run, the more I want some. I just want Cool Ranch Doritos afterwards, or salt and vinegar chips. But because I want salty and I want crunchy. I'm a texture. I love textures, and so like that's usually what I want. But like sometimes when I'm on a real long run and I feel hungry, I'm usually hungry for something that's like a dessert, not something super sweet. I don't want a birthday cake flavored goo gel. That's the last. I never want birthday cake flavored anything. I gotta tell you, but I don't know, like a moon pie. Or an oatmeal. I don't think they make. I think Moon Pies is a different company actually, but like an oatmeal cookie pie, because you guys know I like oatmeal cookies. That sounds pretty good. You know what I would really love is just my mother-in-law's oatmeal cookies. She makes really good ones, and last time she made them with dried cranberries in it. So good, so good. Like it, just like I feel like that would be a great drop bag. Just like half a dozen of those and a fresh cup of coffee, maybe. I'm surprised that's not a thing. I mean, I guess coffee's hot and it's hard to drink when you're going fast, but like, why isn't coffee like a drink Colorado Cola is, right? I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Lou Boy says, "Hi, Kofuzi. Just got into running and looking to run my first 5K early next year. Awesome. I'm in Chicago as well. So I wanted to see if you had any recommendations on any races top of 2022. Well, there is a New Year's Day race every year right along the lakefront. I think really close to me, like along Fullerton, I think. I've never done that one. I'm usually not here for the holidays. I'm usually at either grandma's house or at my parents' house or sometimes my sister's house. So I've never done that one. But I think it starts like, I don't know if it starts at midnight or something. Like for some reason, I remember it always starts in the dark. And I was like, that's not how I want to start a new year. The other great run is the F3 Winter Half Marathon. I believe there's a 5K with that one. The Winter F3 Half Marathon is one of my favorite events. It runs along the lakefront in Chicago, further south a little bit. It starts out at Soldier Field. I love that event. It's super fun. Some years it's brutally cold. One year it started at like 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Other years it started out at like 45 degrees, and I ran my half marathon PR. Well, one of my half marathon PR at the time. So that's a super fun race. I like that one. And then I think that like if we're past that, I think there's usually stuff around Valentine's Day. So like that's kind of like what I would look for like the first couple of months in Chicago. It's going to be cold though, just so you know. But enjoy that. I mean, I love winter running. It's my favorite. Carlos Sangalong says, Yoko, what do I do now that my first marathon, Marine Corps Marathon 2021, is canceled in person? Don't want a virtual. Already did a Constellation half marathon last Sunday. Yeah, I hear you. I would say see if you can hop into another marathon somewhere else. I don't know what else is available in that time frame, but you should be able to find something. Hopefully, something in the same kind of like around the same time frame. They're like I think probably at that point you're looking at smaller marathons. You probably will have to travel a little bit, but that would be an option because it's not like they've moved it a couple months. It's just gone, right, as far as in-person goes. So, I would either do that or look for like a winter like a winter marathon where like you could just kind of like I was saying to that other person, start tapering now, or not taper, but like start taking like a little bit of a break and then ramp up for another abbreviated marathon training block and time that out. So like, I don't know if there's still spots left for CIM. In Indianapolis Marathon or the Monumental Indianapolis Marathon is in November. CIM's in December. Houston's in January, Austin's in February, I think. So those are some options I think that you can do. When is the LA Marathon's usually like April or something like that, isn't it? I don't know what's in March. So like those are some options for you as well. Daniel says, I'm definitely taking an oatmeal cream pie on my next long run. I guess that's, I mean, maybe we should do that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we should do like for the next mukbang, a Lil Debbie sampler. That'd be funny. Alex Fan says, I'm doing my first 50K in a few weeks. I think a mooncake would be a good source of calories late in the race. I think so. The only thing I'd be a little bit concerned about is one, like what is your gel situation going to be like? You know, are you going to be really like sweeted out, like Martha was saying, like from your gels and like sports drink? But I think it could be a good source of calorie. I don't know how much, like for a 50K, I don't know how much like solid food you necessarily need to be eating. You can if you want. Me, I'd probably want something salty just to kind of cleanse the palate. So like I think like, you know, like a cold quesadilla is like perfect for me, I think. And that's probably what I'll pack the next time I do a 50K race. But like I said, I'm not sure that you necessarily need to have food, but I think it could work. The only other consideration that I have other than the sweet factor, it would be like the amount of fat. So I think that, and this is something that I don't have a ton of experience in, but I think that, you know, the longer the race, at a certain point, you kind of need to start eating real food to just for the sake of your gut and your system. I don't think you can, like, I don't think a person can do like 100-mile race on just gels. Maybe there's some people that can, but I know that I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do 100K on just gels. I'd probably want some real food in there at some point. And then once you start adding in things that are a little bit higher in fat, then I think that's when some of the GI problems can really start to come into play. Not because fat's like bad for you or anything like that, but just because it's not sugar that can be really easily digested. So like I would test it on a longer run first. But I think ultimately you'd probably be fine though. All right. Daniel M says, I have an idea for a trivia subject. Name that foam. You show a shoe, we guess the foam. Oh, I like that one. That'd be a hard one too. I'll like show a close up. Maybe I'll get like do like a macro type of shot. You have to guess, is this DNA flash or is it hyperburst? That'd be hard. That'd be hard to tell, I think. Is this boost or is it power on PB? I like that. Adam says, I would do a PB&J for ultras. Wouldn't want any dairy quesadillas. I don't know. I think I just eat so much cheese, though. It's such a regular part of my diet. I have a habit of scavenging whatever things that are can survive being left out over, because sometimes the kids like they're like, oh, I'm gonna come back to this. Can I be excused from the table? I don't want to eat this now, but I might eat it later. And then like a plate of food might sit out overnight. If there's anything that's not gonna go bad overnight and it's still there the following morning, I will definitely eat it. So like a lot of times we make them like cheesy breads or something like that as a side dish. I eat a lot of like day old cheesy breads, and then I go for a run, and it's never a problem. Knock on wood. Now I'm going to have problems with it, but I do kind of like quesadillas. You know, one of my friends used to work in the legal department in IP for Kraft, and I would constantly tell her, I don't know if I told you guys this story, but I would constantly tell her like ideas I would have for snacks. And I still think that someone needs to do this, but there needs to be some sort of like snack that's basically like a quesadilla chip. And then you can use it to dip, right? And so like you reselling, especially for a company like Kraft, you could be selling like lots of products at once. It's like a thicker chip because it's like a quesadilla, but it could hold on to like a thicker dip. Then you sell some Kraft, whatever dips that they make. I don't know what subsidiary of Kraft is the snack foods or whatever, but I don't know. I still kind of wish people would do that. And a lot of times when I do make quesadillas, if there's any ever leftovers, because I usually just make like a giant plate full of them at once for dinner, if we have them for dinner, I'll cut them up into like slices later and eat them with like some refried beans, some salsa. It's really good. Quesadilla chips, guys. I recommend it. Frank likes peanut butter and honey on tortillas. That sounds like a Ryan Doozer type of special. Like something you could eat while on a bike packing trek. Arya Joshi yelling at us saying, "What do you think about Under Armour run shoes?" It's in all caps. That's why, for those of you listening on the podcast. I think that Under Armour really needs some focus. They need to figure out what they want to do. It's pretty annoying, I think. But that being said, I ran in the Under Armour Flow Velocity Wind today. I like half of that shoe, I think. I love the feeling of push off through lift off in the gait cycle. Feels so nice and snappy. Landing on the shoe feels a little bit firm, so I wish there was a way I could still get that snappy like push off while having a little bit more cushion underfoot. But overall, I feel like if you were like a middle distance runner or a shorter distance runner, that is a great shoe. It's $160, which makes it really expensive, but I do think that Under Armour does have somewhat of a captive audience, not captive audience, but an audience that is very brand loyal. And if they're getting into running, I feel like that's like the running shoe to get. Ed Bud's been running in something else that looks like it's a toy. I don't know what he's been running. It's some giant shoe. I've seen him making some reviews on, and I'm like, what is that? But he seems to like it. But I've run in some of the hover foam. It's okay. This new foam, the Flow Velocity Wind foam, is much better. I forget what they call it, but it's much better. And they got a new super shoe coming out. Have you guys heard about that project that they're doing with a guy? His wife works at Under Armour, but the guy is a pretty fast runner, and he's a 2:35 marathoner. He's trying to do 3 marathons in 3 days, all under 2:30. No, wait. Or wait, he's 2:35. So I think he ran a 2:25. I mean, I think what I remember is the goal paces he's trying to run for these marathons is like 5 minutes from PR. So he's a 2:25 marathoner. And I think, if I'm remembering it correctly. But he's doing it in a prototype of the new super shoe that that Under Armour is trying to make. Which I'm like, at this point, who's left at Under Armour that's going to even... I mean, maybe that's why they got this guy who's not even a sponsored athlete to run in it. Because I'm like, who's left? Because wasn't Rachel Snyder over there? And then Aisha Pratt-Lear was over there? And Morgan McDonald was over there? And now they're all gone. So, like, I don't know. Under Armour needs to figure their stuff out. That's the only other thing. But they can make a good shoe when they can, like, focus on it long enough to make it. Remy says, Under Armour has a huge store in Boston. Love the cold gear and the heat gear. Not sure about the shoes. I mean, yeah, I think that Under Armour has a really big flagship store in Chicago as well. It's actually a really cool store. It's multi-level, I think. I don't know, I've not spent too much time in it because most of the stuff is not running stuff. But it's a giant store, and like the running, it's like, you know, like the size of this wall in terms of like the apparel. And then they have the running shoes that are there too. So they don't have a big dedicated area to like running in the Under Armour flagship store here in Chicago, but it is nice. And I will say that their cold weather gear is really nice, but it's Under Armour. That's their wheelhouse. They're good at apparel, really good at apparel, especially layering layers. Under Armour, that's what they do. So I do really like that. Daniel says Under Armour has a nice campus in Portland too. You know, I've never been to that. Try it. Oh, James Elmer says Steven Scullion. You know, I don't know. Is Steven Scullion still an Under Armour athlete? Are we sure about that? Because I saw, you know, I know he was running for Under Armour for a while. But then the last couple of videos, I've seen him run in the new Craft Ultra Carbon. There, I think he's got a prototype of it. I don't know if he got the new one that came out. Not the one that I have. There's another one that came out that's a little bit lighter in the upper. And I know they're working on a prototype, or not a prototype, but they're working on version 2 of that shoe as well. So I don't know which one he had. I think he had the one with the lighter upper that just recently came out, or it's coming out soon. I'm not sure. So he's been I've seen him run in that, and I've seen him run in Vaporflies. So like I don't know if he's still like on his long run. So I don't know if he's still an Under Armour athlete. Frank says in Chicago, there isn't a lot of running stuff, but there's a whole floor dedicated to golf. Yeah. Today I saw a guy. He was walking down the street. He had 2 Starbucks coffees with him. And like he was dressed like fully like he was about to go play golf. And I wanted to say something to him. Like, are you gonna go play golf right now? Like, what are you dressed as? It looked really. I mean, like, I went to drop off the kids looking like this, so like I wasn't exactly looking sharp, but I was just like, he had the whole setup. And I was like, I don't know. Is like golf leisure wear? That's a popular thing, isn't it? I'm guessing it is. But I don't know. It just looked kind of strange to me. Andrew Hahn says, is there an expected pace for your Kofuzi Shakeout run? I think there'll be a variety of paces. I'll probably run at about 9:30 per mile. When there's a lot of people and when I get chatty in a large group, I tend to go a little bit slower. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. You don't have to keep up with that. I'm hoping that what we'll have is a couple of people that are familiar with the area and kind of the route. So if there's some that want to go off at like 8:30 or 8 in terms of minutes per mile, they can kind of lead that group. And if there's some that want to go at like 10:30, we can accommodate that too. So like there's going to be kind of like a lot of figuring out as we go. If there's no one else to go with like a different pace group, I'll probably go with like the last pace group just to make sure that everyone gets to the right place, safely and without getting too lost, because I know how it feels to be lost. So I'm trying to make it so that the shakeout run will be accommodating to all paces. Seeker Elite says, good day, everyone. 4:30 a.m. starting my day with a live stream. Must be a sign of a good day coming up. That's great. That's awesome. That is a good way to wake up. To a live stream? That's nice. I'm not to say that I'm a great way to wake up, but I'm saying like if you're watching a live stream, that is a good way. Gino Days Off says, hey, Ko, your description of the Trail V2 and ground feel, exactly how the Saucony Kinvara 12 feels to me. Not enough protection. Yeah, I didn't run in the Saucony Kinvara 12. I ran the 11, which I think was a departure from the traditional Kinvara. I think the 12 was more of a, from what it looks like, more of a return to what the Kinvara like DNA is. But yeah, I think the 2 shoes overlap quite a bit. And the Kinvara used to be a lot of people's like race shoe because it was light, it was low to the ground. And just a shoe that like kind of like back when marathon shoes were minimal, or like just really stripped down, basically like racing flats. I think a lot of people ran marathons in Kinvaras. So for me now, I mean, I would probably use a Kinvara on the track. Great track workout shoe, very lightweight. Again, low to the ground, so hitting the turns is really nice and easy. Or like a treadmill shoe, but I wouldn't use it for like a long run. Just because, I don't know, I have dainty feet, I guess. Carlos Sayoline says, golf attire as leisure wear was a whole episode in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Was it really? I've never seen that show. I think I would like it, especially if they're going to tease golfing a little bit. I think golfing's a great sport. It's fun. For sure, but I just think that golfing just gets way silly all the time. Yeah, it's very strange. It's a very lampoonable sport, I think. I mean, not that running isn't, for sure. But, golf, runners are, like distance runners, they're like super weird people. And we like embrace that about each other. Golf is a weird sport, but everyone pretends that it's not. And I think that's funny. Daniel Villarreal says, is any shoe recommended for MAP training or Maffetone training? I don't think there's a specific shoe. I would just get a really good daily trainer, one that's good for soaking up miles and spending time on feet. So not something that's like a race shoe, not something that's like a speed workout shoe, but things that are like in the daily trainer or max cushion category is kind of what I would look for. Daniel M says, at the Austin Shakeout Run, we averaged 6 minutes 9 seconds per kilometer at the Austin Shakeout for 5K. It took us 30 minutes. Oh yeah, that was a good one. I had to go to the bathroom really bad at that one, and all the bathrooms were closed. That was a tough day for me. But that was a fun one. That was a really fun one. Remy says, did you figure out the Kofuzi Run Club Strava event yet? No, I haven't. I guess I should, because then I could like invite people, right? Then people get it in their emails too. I think that's the whole point of that, right? Because every once in a while I get like, so-and-so has invited you to join a challenge or to do an event, right? That must be how that happens. D. Mijboom says, I have to go. Have a good day, all. Happy running. All right. See you later, D. And Daryl says, good morning from Tokyo. Look at it. He's from Tokyo. And is that the Eiffel Tower in your picture? The world traveler. Morning from Tokyo. Woke up at 3 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep, but glad to join the live stream. Well, as we've established in this live stream many times, nothing is better for helping people fall asleep than the sound of listening to me talk. So hopefully I get you back to sleep, Daryl. James McBennett says, one of the big multi-day tech conferences had a surf subgroup in protest of golf being more popular with a less innovative networking business lunch. Ooh, that's cool. See, now that's an event that I would like to go to. I know it's like I've seen a lot of conferences now are starting to have like a 5K, basically like a fun run. They call it a 5K, but it's just a group run in the mornings before like these conferences. And I'm like, I love running, but like, I don't know that I would want to do that. I don't know. It depends on the work conference. Yeah, I guess now my work conference is a little bit different. So, yeah. Yvonne Manzour says, hi, what do you think about use the Rocket X in a marathon? For a 130-pound runner and 3-way goal at Boston, October 11th, regards. I think that's going to be a really good choice. It's a really lightweight shoe, nice and snappy. And I think for a 308, I think that's a really good pace that the Rocket X likes to be at. So I think that's a great choice. Matt Legrand's here, says, yo-ho, what's going on? What's going on, Matt? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Secret Elite says, that photo earlier could have been the Tokyo Tower. There's a Tokyo Tower that looks like the Eiffel Tower? I wasn't aware of that. I see, I'm not a world traveler. I've never been to Japan. I want to go to the Hokkaido soap factory. I know that. And I want to have ramen noodles in Sapporo. I'm guessing Tokyo probably is better for ramen culture, but I don't know. I want to visit Tokyo at some point, hopefully to run the marathon. And I want to go to one of those places where they give you like a little cubby and you buy the noodles and you get like a ticket and you don't have to like talk to you buy the ticket from like a machine and then you like give the ticket to someone or someone and like no one talks to you and you don't talk to anybody, but you're eating around other people. I mean, it's like an introvert's dream, right? I really want to do that. Matt says, how you feeling about Chi-Town Marathon? Sorry, I got here late if you already answered this one. No, I'm feeling good. I think we're all systems go. Numbers are real low here. I mean, like putting in the mask mandate back in August, I think was a really great move. Things have really quieted down. I'd say the only thing that I'm surprised about for the last like month, 2 months, is that they didn't have the Pride Parade. I think that if I were someone that was going to participate in Pride, I mean, I participate in Pride, I go to the parade every year, but if I was going to be like, if I had like, was a sponsor or I had a float ready or was going to be building a float, that kind of thing, I'd be really mad because other large events have taken place in Chicago in the same neighborhood. And things seem to be okay. And at least for my zip code, which my zip code, the Chicago Marathon does run through it. This zip code is like 75.8% fully vaccinated. So feeling really good about that. And then the other Lakeview, Chicago, which I guess it's kind of 60613. I think right at the turnaround, at the top point of the Chicago Marathon, I think that's 60613. That neighborhood is like 79%, or that zip code is 79%. So, we're doing good. I mean, there's certainly neighborhoods in Chicago that are not doing well, but I think we're getting it together here in Chicago, and I think that we'll be able to go. I think that you're going to need to be vaccinated or show a negative test to go to the Expo, which is a good way of saying that, like, you got to be vaccinated or have a negative test to go to compete in the race. But I was thinking about it today. I was like, I bet you there's some elites that are not vaccinated. I wonder who those are. But I bet you there's at least a couple. And I wonder what they're doing about I guess they'll just take a negative test. But I'm feeling good about it. I think it's all systems go. And as far as me running the event, I've got 12 days to really like fret and obsess over it. And then it'll be race day, and then I'll change whatever plan I make. I'll probably change it like 6 seconds before the gun goes off. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right. Looks like I'm about to lose my camera today, which I haven't lost the camera in a while, but here we go. I lost the camera. We'll go switch to the webcam, but I guess I got to get going soon then. We'll end with this one. Ricardo Alvarez says, which shoes were you running the marathon in? Why'd you pick those shoes? Was it a hard decision or a no-brainer? Yeah, I think I'm going to be running in the Metaspeed Sky, and it was a pretty easy decision for me because I have 2 marathons on the calendar for this year, Chicago and then CIM. CIM is going to be like my A race. Chicago is more of like a B race. I don't want to call it a fun run anymore, but it's more of a B race. And my 2 favorite marathon shoes right now are the Metaspeed Sky and the Adios Pro 2. So I'm thinking Metaspeed Sky for Chicago, and then Adios Pro 2 for CIM. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. The RC Elite 2 is also a pretty fun shoe. So like that kind of slides up in there. But I just got that one, so I just don't have as much experience in it. So maybe it might edge the Adios Pro 2, but I don't think it will. All right. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it there. There's lots of fun stuff I want to keep talking to you guys about, but I still have so much work I gotta do for some of these other projects. I gotta go in, and I already lost my main camera, so we're on the webcam for today. So I think that's a good place to leave it. Tomorrow we'll do happy hour, so bring a recovery beverage of choice. I'm not sure what I'm gonna bring yet. We'll have to see about that. But I'll think of something between now and then. And then tomorrow's video, I'm not sure what it's gonna be. I'm kind of off because I had this project and this deadline kind of gets dropped in real fast, and then I gotta kind of drop everything and do it. So we'll see, but try to have a video for tomorrow as well, so you get to see me twice tomorrow. So until then, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.